Thank you, Reynor, for that. That's amazing.
Hope you guys enjoyed
Obviously,
those.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, we did actually hit a slight wall where there were so many people watching your stream that Discord was telling people they couldn't join, so we had to start streaming on Twitch.
Oh,
There's just
damn.
so many people here. No, you're okay. It's all good. Does anybody have any questions for Reynor regarding his replays? And I'm sure Reynor won't mind sharing those with us as well, so you can look at those in your own time. But yeah, any questions?
Yeah,
Should we
I
take
have.
that schedule?
I wanted to piggyback on what we just saw. Like, I'm definitely a Zerg who will headbutt their whole army in that situation against the Protoss. And it goes very bad. It's very inefficient. Like, why? Like, seeing the end of that game, you just completely decimated his supply. It was so efficient. Is that just because when the Death Ball is split up, they just do that much worse? Like, why was that so efficient compared to taking more of a front-on fight?
Well, as I said, it was all about sharpening my advantage and thinking about his unit comp. The moment I killed his third base, I knew overall his supply would be lower than mine, right? I have a big economy advantage. Then the moment I scouted his base, I know he's going for Archon Immortal. That's a very expensive army. And he's not going to be able to get up very high in supply. So what I want to do is I just want to split it up. Like if I was playing as Stalkers, I would be doing something different, you know? So I just adjusted based on his army, and as I said, it's very important you just don't headbutt your way in. I thought my best chances would be when he tries to take his fourth base, just because he has more angles to defend, and that's even scarier for him, you know, especially if he tries to defend every side. So yeah, that's just the win condition I put in my head, and the one I thought would have the best chances.
How would your unit comp would have changed if they went Colossi? I'm like really struggling with going Hydras or Roach Hydra against Colossi. What's the like different methodology with that?
You can do a couple of things. In that specific game, if you went Colossus, I would have rushed Hive just because I was so far ahead, and I would have probably killed him on his side of the map before he actually had a chance to come to my side of the map. At the very top of pro play, Colossus are used as a timing unit. They usually just move out off of 3 bases with 4 Colossus and they try to kill you. So what you can do is, if that's the case, you can make Bailings. Roach Ravager Bailing is something that's very common against Colossus. If not, I would recommend just Lurkers is very good. Just try to get your range upgrade as fast as possible, and a couple of Vipers definitely helps. I do not recommend just straight up Roach Hydra. Even just Roach Hydra Viper is kind of hard. To me, it's either, if I had to choose, it's either Ravager, Lingbane, or Fast Lurker. The moment you get a good amount of Lurkers, the Colossus are just completely useless.
In the CVT that you had, you talked about the 540 double medevac on 3cc.
Yeah.
You told that you had a decision like to drone up after that drop. Do you always like hold up the drone production during that period?
Yeah, it's good to just be safe in general. Like let's say he does the hellbutt timing I was talking about, then I would want to have more links. But since I saw it was only 2 medivacs and no hellbutts, I was holding my drones a little bit, and then just went for it. You know, I knew I was safe to drone up. Like that kind of medivac push with just 16 marines. Most of the time, you can deal with it basically with just queens. So I knew I was completely safe there. Especially when I saw the third drop and I saw the mine. That's when you really go hard on the drone key, because you can get away with a lot of drones against mines, especially if you're on point. Against tanks, it's a little bit different. You have to have more army supply, but versus mines, you can be chilling on creep and just smash down the drone key.
So, if you face someone that's not going super standard, what is your go-to plan?
Well, it's always scouting, right? It's just so important, because having good macro and good scouting will get you ahead basically every game against someone that's not playing standard. Unless mind games are involved and stuff, but that's higher level. Just good scouting, good basics, you will be ahead every single time. Standard just beats all of that if you're aware of what's going on. If you have good responses to stuff. Obviously, it's a bit hard to learn everything. You have to mash your head into You will lose a lot if you try to be as standard as possible, but eventually you will have good response against pretty much everything.
So in that CVP against the Protoss, you were pretty ahead. But what if the Adept came in, got 1-2 kills, first Oracle, 1-2 more kills, second Oracle, 3 or 4? How would you have played that specific game from behind there?
Well, if I get all of the damage, then I'm kind of cooked, right? Like that's not supposed to happen. If he does all of that damage, then I would definitely be a little bit more defensive. I would still try to find a good angle, maybe with a good run by. Maybe he leaves his wall open. Then you have to find a different win condition that I don't know. It's very hard to play ZVP from behind. I feel like once you lose a lot of drones in the early game, you're kind of cooked. If you're the same skill level, if let's say I'm a lot better than my opponent, then maybe I would camp and get to late game, because the longer the game goes, theoretically, the more chances you have to outplay. So that's another win condition you could set for yourself if you think you're a lot better. But definitely don't lose that many drones, because you're kind of cooked if you do.
In ZVT, do you have a specific plan in mind when you make your queens and how many you want to get?
Yeah, well, usually I get up to 9. I'm very bad at knowing the timings of stuff, because at this point, I just go by feeling. I've probably played like fucking 50,000 ZVTs in my life, maybe more, probably more. So it just comes natural to me. But usually I just get up to 9 queens, and I split them 3 and 3 and 3 for inject. And then I add another one when the 4th hatch finishes.
Reynor, we have since we are streaming onto Twitch, there was a question that came through. Someone asked, what would be the optimal timing or timing windows to do damage against ZVP?
Well, as I showcased in the replay, when they move out with the oracles and maybe they play a little bit greedy with the adepts, it's very important you try to find a window. What I like doing is make 2 sets of links. One I send to run by, and one
You could write in the chat in the general lounge.
Absolutely. Or into the general lounge chat, absolutely. I don't think this was asked. Wagon said, in ZVP, what do you look for to determine how many lings you should make when toss is taking a third?
Well, it's kind of what you want to do, right? If you actually want to do damage. Now, I just want to make this clear. This will not happen every game. A lot of Protoss players will live behind one Oracle and they will be fine. They just legit all they need is an Oracle and a couple of depths in a good position, and you won't be able to find damage no matter how many links you make. So this kind of goes by feel. Like if you feel like the guy's playing greedy, then you can make like let's say 20 links, and you can have them 10 at home and 10 to run by, because it's very important you also keep some to defend the adepts.
It sounds like a lot of Zerg, especially at your level, does feel like it goes by instinct and feel and experience
for sure.
make something.
It's very reactionary. It's the most reactionary race. You have to get a feel for it. That's why I said, like, I think I want you guys to, the biggest thing to take away from this is just focus on your basics a lot. Like, don't cheese your way through shit. It's not gonna do anything for you. Because at some point you're gonna hit a wall. Because Zerg is a reactive race. You have to know what's going on, and you have to know your drone counts and stuff. So just focus on that and learn that as fast as possible.
What's the best way to hone that instinct or the feel when you're grinding up the levels?
Just play a lot and be mindful of why you lose and when you lose. Like, oh, did I overdrone this game? Okay, maybe next time I play against this, I won't make as many drones. Maybe I'll cut back a few. You lose again, maybe I should cut back even more, and eventually you get to a good response. Just playing a lot definitely helps.
Reynor said something earlier, everybody. That was really clever on that question. Actually, is in his. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Reynor, but I'm pretty sure what you said was the best way to improve isn't just playing 100 games. It's more beneficial to play 10 games within 10 full learning, looking at 10 replays and saying why, and then taking that on board rather than playing 100 games and not looking at the replay and not bothering with why you lost.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really necessarily have to look at the replay. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't look at that many replays when I was improving a lot, but it's just because I remembered I had a fantastic memory for games. Like losses really stuck with me, and I would struggle a lot to forget them. So it was just kind of in my in my brain, and I would think about them a lot.
Yeah.
Spartans. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I have a question about the spore timing in CVT. You said like 430 if it's like 3 cc, and then something if it's like 2 cc.
Yeah, so
Do I
it's,
recall it correctly?
if it's 2 cc, you want to have 430. You start the spores against banshees. 430 for 2 cc, 450 for 3 cc. That's safest way to play it.
Did you say 450?
430, 450. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
2 questions come through the chat. So what is your game plan against mech? First mech question.
Well, that's there's very different types of mech, right? There's a cyclone mech, there's a tank mech, there's a banshee mech. So it's a bit different, but in general, what you want to do against mech, the general idea is you want to get a high drone count, and you want to get vipers as fast as possible, especially if it's tank mech. So fast hive, fast upgrades, fast drone count. You can get away with a lot playing his mech, so try to abuse that good creep. And then just in general, try to take very good fights. It's a bit the same as playing his toss. Try to split their army as much as possible. Maybe get run-bys going. And if you see he has a lot on, let's say, the left side, then you go fight on the right side with Vipers and try to be as cost efficient as possible.
Chocolats has asked, in which scenarios would you take it to the late game versus Protoss?
Never. Don't do it.
And
this is
I knew
this
that
is
was
not
gonna
a
be the
joke.
answer.
Yeah, it's just so much harder for Zerg to play late game than it is for Toss. It's basically never worth it.
Gotcha. I think that's the struggle for some players. That I think maybe this will be a good one as well for you, Reynor. I think a lot of players, especially in Diamond to mid masters, probably only play StarCraft 2 exclusively to play the late game, to play the strategic, positional, tactical game. But what they might not take into account is that certain matchups, certain maps, and certain situations just calls for it to not be viable. Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, if you enjoy it, then go for it. It's gonna be really hard. If you get really good at it, then you might find it enjoyable. Practice makes perfect. So as I said, do what makes you happy. Just go for it if you want. I don't recommend it if you're trying to play to win, especially against Toss. Against Terran, it's fine, but against Toss, it's just so much harder. Maybe at the lower levels, it's better because Tempest control is not as sharp. But yeah, don't recommend it if you're playing to win. If you're playing for fun, go for it.
Okay, good stuff. We'll take one more question from the group before I go into another chat question. Anyone want to add something?
Yeah, I do. Reynor, so whenever you would have a lose streak, well, let's say back then when you were maybe in like Masters or GM, and you would get a lose streak, what would you suggest that would actually handle tilt and being stressed in the game?
Well, my best advice for you is if you're really deep into a loss streak, just take a break. It's very important you just take a break, maybe even sleep on it, and just think. Like it's very easy to just get frustrated and say, oh, fuck this race or whatever during a loss streak, or maybe I'm getting unlucky, or this guy's blank countering, this guy's smurfing. But keep in mind why you're losing. Like, am I losing because I'm playing bad? Am I losing because I changed something today? Like, what is actually going on that caused this loss streak? I think loss streaks are a good thing in the end, because in the long run they help you understand better what is happening, and loss streaks bring change to light. Like, oh, maybe I've been getting supply blocked at this timing the entire day and I didn't realize, and it's causing me a lot of losses. So it's good to go over and check out what caused loss streak. All right, we found the game.